Hi everyone, and welcome to another episode of Radiant Central, and I'm your host, Natasha St. Michael, and thank you so much for joining me. So, every now and again, I receive comments or emails from people asking me what do I think of some of the new diets, some of the new extreme diets that are being promoted on the internet and perhaps might have a big following or that are becoming quite popular. And a lot of times people are concerned that it's so dangerous and it's so extreme and so unbalanced, and then people ask me what do I think, and it's a good question. I have to say, first of all, that these extreme diets have been around forever, forever and ever and ever. And the main thing is that today, with the internet, we have access more so and more easily and for free to a lot more information and a lot of things that people are promoting and that are doing. But if you were to go back like 20 years ago, before we had the internet, all these extreme diets were written up in books, and people would get it from the library or from a bookstore or from their friends. These extreme diets and crash diets and all of that have always existed. You know, when people want extreme and fast results, they're going to do extreme things. And so when it comes down to some of these extreme diets and things like that, what's my view? Well, I have to say the main thing is that I think what's most important is to take away what works and to leave behind what doesn't. I know for myself, I've tried so many extreme diets and crash diets and cleanses, all of that over the years. In recent years, I'd have to say, and most people know this, is that I'm much more moderate and more balanced with my approach with my diet and my health and all that. And I find I actually get better results doing that. But there was a time in my life where I wanted that fast results, and I wanted to do the extreme things, and the extreme things kind of inspired me at that time, and I learned a lot. I learned a lot about what worked for me and what didn't. And so looking back, would I have never done those things now that I know what I do know? Well, I think those things were part of my path and part of my journey. And one thing I do with a lot of my coaching clients, I would say majority of my coaching clients that come to me to either because they need to lose weight or they need to reverse some sort of diet-related health condition, or they're just trying to learn to eat healthier, and they've tried every diet in the book, and they've done all the crash diets and the cleanses and everything, and nothing's ever worked. One thing I do with them is really to go through what they've tried in the past and almost kind of like you take a step out and you dissect it and you figure out, well, what is it that worked? What is it that someone enjoyed doing? What is it that they actually got results from? What is it that they could stick to? What is it that they felt really good doing, that really actually boosted their health? And then also look at these things too and see, what is it that didn't work? What is it that really was just bad? What is it that didn't give them the results they wanted and in fact gave them the opposite results? What is it that was impossible to stick to? What is it that was terrible for their health and for everything, their energy, all of that? And it's to look at all those things that they've tried to figure out, well, what is it that works? What is it that doesn't? Because then you start learning more and more about your body, and then you can take that and create something that is more tailor-made for you. Because one thing I find with all these diets out there is that it might work for one person, but it certainly doesn't work for another. Nothing is like one size fits all when it comes down to any kind of eating plan or any of that. And it's really important to make those adjustments and to be open and flexible. And so I find in general is that the one thing that I suggest anyone moving away from is trying to do one diet and trying to do it over and over again until it works. Because I see that all the time, is that people get fixated on one thing, and a lot of times it's an extreme thing that they think is supposed to work. It looks like it should work on paper, but it doesn't, and they keep trying over and over and over again to do it, and they're wasting time because it's perhaps not right for their body. You know, perhaps it's actually like breaking down their health and their well-being and even their self-confidence and self-esteem by trying to do something over and over again that just doesn't work. So I find in general with any of these extreme diets and cleanses and all of that is to take away what works for you, take away what you like, but leave behind what doesn't. And always check in with yourself as to like, what is it that works and what doesn't. When you are able to see it for that, then you're not locked into doing anything to the extreme, and you're still connected to how your body is reacting to things and what is happening. You know, and that's what's most important, is that you're more connected to your body rather than what the diet guru is saying or what the book is saying or, you know, what the testimonials are saying. but you're checking in with yourself to seeing what your body is saying and what you're saying. And I find that's where you can find more balance. You know, so when it comes down to these extreme diets and these extreme kind of things, it's about really, it's being objective and thinking for yourself too. A lot of times people get too caught up in what everyone else is saying, and they forget about, well, what is their opinion on it? And what is their own experience with it? Not someone else's, but their own. And so I find that if we can remind ourselves that as well, is to always have our own opinion and our own experience, then that too will ensure that you're always in the right direction. All right, so that's my view of some of the extreme things that are going on today. And I have to say too, like looking back, like I've done all sorts of crazy things and extreme things because I really wanted extreme results. And half the time, I didn't get those extreme results. I would say majority of the time I didn't. But there's always something I either learned about myself or something that I learned about what I like doing or what I really didn't, and what worked for me and what didn't. And so looking back, would I have changed that path I was on? Certainly not. I feel like I did definitely gain a lot. And I feel that it really brought me to almost a more balanced point in my life because I did some of those extreme things. You know, it's almost like I had to go from one extreme to the other in order to get to the middle, and to really, for me to really get to know myself as well. But then again, we're all different, right? So that's my tip for today. And if anyone does want to have coaching with me, I do offer telephone coaching, and we can work on your diet and even also life coaching as well. People are always asking me if I can help people with other things besides their diet and their health, but perhaps coaching them through relationships or with their careers, things like that. And I do offer that as well. So if you want more information on the coaching that I offer, you can go to my website at radiantcentral.com, click on coaching, and there's information on the coaching packages there. All right, so I'm wishing everyone a super fabulous day, and I'll see you again soon.